Hello everyone, Johnny Fung here for Los Angeles Mission College, and today we're going to be going over some tips and tricks on getting a better Zoom call. And so this can be applied to pretty much anyone who's using Zoom or any video conferencing platform whatsoever, but primarily we're going to be focusing on Zoom. So people, not just faculty using this for teaching classes, but also staff in meetings, administrators in meetings, or even students. Students can watch this too, because many times it could be important that faculty or teachers can hear and see students better. And so all around, anyone can use this, these tips and tricks, right? And primarily we're going to be focusing on two things. It's going to be video, getting better video quality, as well as getting better audio quality. And by video quality, we're going to have some equipment as well as some lighting that we're going to be kind of touching on. And for audio, we're also going to utilize some equipment here. And things are going to range from absolutely free, doesn't cost anything, just changing some settings in Zoom, all the way to costing a little bit of money. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, this isn't a video on showing you how to use Zoom. I will assume that you already know how to use Zoom, like set up meetings or log in, set up your account, accept calls, get into a meeting, or enable, disable your webcam, muting and unmuting your microphone. You should already know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, if you've never used Zoom before and you need to know how to the basics, this isn't the video for you. You're going to need to find another workshop or watch some other tutorials on how to get the basics of Zoom. All right. So before we get into what we need to change, I kind of want to give you an example as to what a Zoom call could look like in kind of its worst case scenario. Right, I have here a fairly old laptop. It's about like 5 or 6 years old, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like with a built-in webcam, the built-in microphone, and the lighting situation that I'm in right now. Now, your mileage may vary. Maybe yours looks better than this already, or maybe it doesn't. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what a Zoom call could look like that needs improvement. All right. Okay, so taking a look at the Zoom call here as a demo, as you can already see, I'm very dark, and that's really because of the lighting situation that I happen to be in, and as well as the audio quality isn't so great. And so you're watching and seeing or watching and hearing a clean feed of this call, and you can imagine that for students, it's probably not that great, especially when they're hearing it out of like cheap laptop speakers, like from a Chromebook or something. So jumping back, one of the few things that you can do within the Zoom call itself or within Zoom's client settings is change the audio and video settings a little bit. Now, many of you might already have done this, and it's the best that you could possibly do with Zoom. But for some of you out there, maybe you've never even seen or know of these settings. So we're going to jump back into how to change these settings. So if you're in a Zoom call, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the up arrow key here, and you're going to click on video settings. And then what you want to do for your webcam is enable HD. You're going to click on that, and it got a little bit better. There's also this touch up my appearance, and what that does actually, it just smooths out your face. But honestly, I wouldn't mess around with this. I would leave this off, right? It kind of would make your face look more unnatural. It also requires more processing power on your laptop. So let's try to minimize things that are gonna make your computer run slower, especially if you have an older machine. And so under the advanced section here, there's a lot of settings here. We can leave this alone. We don't need to change any of that right there. Let's not, that's a little too advanced, and depending on people's laptops, I wouldn't be able to tell you what settings would work good because everyone's laptop is different. And moving on to the audio, kind of the same thing. Enabling stereo sound is kind of like enabling HD on the webcam. And under the advanced section here, There's a couple of things that you can change, but again, you're going to want to play around with this. Your mileage may vary depending on the environment that you're in, right? So the suppressed persistent background noise and intermittent background noise, there's different various levels here that you could do. You could start with disabling these two if you're in an environment that is relatively quiet, like there's nobody around and you know that there's not going to be any background noise. You can go ahead and turn this off. Or if you know that there's going to be very little background noise, you could set it to moderate. Or again, if you know that there's going to be a lot of background noise, you could set it to aggressive, right? So I know that I'm going to be in a quiet environment, so I'm going to set this to disable. Echo right here, you can kind of tell whether or not you're in a room with just straight walls all around you and it's echoey. Then you can leave it to auto and it should do a pretty good job at picking it up. However, if you know you're in a room and you know you're going to be in a room with echo and there's just obviously echo all the time, then you can change it to aggressive and keep it on, rather than letting the laptop fluctuate up and down with trying to figure out if there's echo coming in and out or not, right? So if you know all these things about your environment, then set it to what your environment is so that the computer isn't always trying to guess, and then that's when things just kind of sound crazy, right? So I'll just leave this to auto, and that's pretty much it for the free basic settings that you could do for Zoom. And as you can see, it's gotten a little bit better. However, and you'll notice that my audio is coming into the camera clean so that you can kind of hear me better. It's not coming in through the laptop. However, I will switch to the laptop audio now, and it should sound a little bit better now that you have stereo enabled versus before, right? So switching back to the camera audio, now to kind of help you with the way things look right now, it's compensating for this bright source of light that's behind me. So that's why it's making the entire image dark. That's why I'm dark versus the nice fancy camera that I have in front of me. The webcam camera is struggling to keep me lit. And there's only two things that you can kind of really do for that. One is get more light on you that overpowers that, or cover those up, get that light out of here, right? Get some blinds or something. And if you can't do any of that, that's actually nothing I can do really about that aside from letting the sun go down and wait till it gets dark. The only thing I can do really in my particular situation is move the camera and move the laptop. And as you can see, the camera, the webcam, actually got a little bit brighter. And as you can see there, it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And that's probably as much as I can move, really, without falling off the table and falling off the chair here. But as you can see, it got a little bit better. And I actually have a lamp behind the webcam here. And what I can do is actually put that right next to me. And it's a cheap little lamp, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But that's it right there. I mean, if you already have a lamp, great. If you don't, sure, that is something that you have to buy. But for the most part, and I actually could probably move a little bit more, but that's essentially what you can do, is try to remove all of that background light. Don't sit with a window with a bunch of sunlight coming in from behind you and have a bunch of bright lights behind you. What you need is a lot of bright lights in front of you. So in front of me, I actually there's a big window here, and a lot of light can come in through there, and I could open up the blinds and let more light in to brighten up my image. All right, so here's an example of me opening up the blinds. The blinds are fully open. I've got more light on me. I've got more shine on my greasy face here, but for the most part, it did get better. Now, another thing that you could do that would make things better, especially for the sound and a little bit of the video, is to get your laptop up higher a little bit to eye level and closer to you, right? If you brought the laptop closer to you for the microphone, this is not a very flattering image. Basically, it's called the nose cam, and people could just see up your nose if you get things closer to be able to get close to the microphone. So the cheapest option is to just get something to put the laptop on, some books or something like that. And then let's just put the books here, get that a little bit closer, right? If I got something, you can also purchase a laptop stand if you want it. I didn't really have time to order one of those, but essentially that's it right there. And jumping back to the video and sound quality, I should sound a lot better. This is again the built-in microphone to the laptop, and things should sound better. And yeah, so all of that pretty much didn't cost anything. So if you also brought it in closer to you, the camera should also adjust and get all that bright background light out of the way. But essentially, that's it. That's the free, easy method to getting a better Zoom call. Now we're going to be taking a look at some audio and video equipment. All right, so starting with a new webcam, a new external webcam that's not the built-in one onto the laptop. As of today, as of the posting of this video, there should be some of these webcams that are available for checkouts through the school. Of course, there is going to be like an application process, which I have yet to implement, but that will be out soon. Or if you want to, you can purchase your own. And pretty much anything by Logitech, although pandemic times right now, pandemic pricing, it's a little difficult right now to be getting some equipment. But if you can find one, Logitech webcams are usually pretty good. Anything with the 600 series, a 900 series if you can get, would be great, but any 600 or 900, this is a 5B525, I believe it is, and you can pick this up. Shouldn't cost you more than $100. If you're paying more than $100 for a webcam, don't get it. It's not worth it, right? Wait until stock comes back and pandemic prices go down. So what this does is that it's going to be plugging into your laptop. You could just mount it right there like so, and we're gonna go and plug it in through USB into the USB port of the laptop here. And ideally, you don't really want to be in a Zoom call for this, but if you wanted to, you could and should be able to switch the camera by, again, going into the video settings. Or when you hit this up arrow here, what you can do is find your webcam listed here. You're not going to have all of this other stuff here, but you should have the Logitech, the name of your webcam right here. So you can click on that and it'll immediately switch over. And I believe in your video settings, you should still have HD enabled. All right, so this is what the audio sounds like in the Logitech webcam, and it should be better. I'm pretty sure it's better than the built-in laptop microphone. But again, depending on what your environment is, if there isn't a lot of ambient noise, then webcam microphones typically are better than the built-in microphones on your laptops. All right, so the first option that I'm going to have for you is a lavalier microphone in combination with a USB sound card. And so having these two, it makes things most compatible and kind of easier for the demonstration, the purpose of this demonstration. Each of them are fairly inexpensive. This USB sound card is about $8 on Amazon. Links to it will be in the description as always. And then the lavalier is about $15 to $20. They do make a USB lavalier. So I'll also put a link down to that. I don't know how good that sounds, but this combination right here seems to be pretty, works pretty well for me. And so you may not need the USB sound card, and that is if your laptop has separate audio inputs or outputs. And some laptops will have a headphone and microphone jack, but then a lot of laptops, even older ones, will have a single jack here that does both headphones and microphone. And with that, things get complicated if you try to use a lavalier microphone with that. I'm not going to get too much into details of what those complications are, but I'm just going to be showing you primarily the demo using these two things here, right? So the first things first, we're going to take out the USB sound card and we're going to plug this into the computer, into a USB port. And essentially what it's going to do is going to add a new sound microphone device. And then we're going to take out this lavalier microphone here. And it comes with the microphone as well as an extension cable if you need to go really long. If you want to, for some reason, to put your laptop or microphone far away from you to get, you know, more in your shot, perhaps that's up to you. That's fine. And there's also an adapter. So what this is that it's a combination 3-ring plug for cell phones as well as laptops like this that only have one port that does both audio and microphone and headphone into one jack. But you're going to need, for this purpose, you're going to need this adapter that converts it to a 2-ring. And so this right here is for mostly computers. And if you have a desktop that has a separate microphone jack, then you're good, right? You don't actually even really need this USB sound card. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna plug it into the sound card and we're gonna plug it into the green port, the red port. And now that that's plugged in, we're going to clip this onto my shirt here, not to conflict with the other microphone already clipped onto my shirt. Typically you want this not all the way up to your mouth, but like somewhere around here. The closer it is to your mouth when you talk, it's going to pick up wind noise and it's going to pick up your pops and wind, and that can get very annoying, especially for students who are going to be wearing headphones. You don't really want that. So typically you want this to be somewhere like around here. Right there is good. All right. So let's jump back into the computer and take a look at what we got to set here. All right, so setting up the computer, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the up arrow here on audio settings. And then what you're going to do is select under microphone. You're going to select this microphone USB audio device. If you get a different USB sound card, it could say something else, but look for, through the process of elimination, look for the USB sound card that you just plugged in. Select that. All right, so here is an example of what the audio quality sounds like on the lavalier. And so this is good to have when you have a lot of ambient noise, and most microphones, like the built-in ones on the laptops and webcams, they're designed to pick up sound that's far away from the subject or your mouth. And so with this is really designed to pick up sound that's closer to your mouth. And so any sound that's happening around you, it shouldn't be picked up or shouldn't be picked up that well from the lavalier mic. So you can have this mic closer to you and even be far away from your laptop if you wanted to, or have your laptop further away to be able to get more in your shot for whatever reason. But essentially this is what the lavalier mic going into the USB sound card would sound like. Moving on to one more option here is a microphone, a USB microphone. However, this is one that can be clipped onto your laptop or set down in front of you on the desk here for you to talk to, and it could be closer to you. And so this has a little bit higher quality of a pickup than what's built into this lavalier here, or what's built into your webcam or your laptop. And so this is about $30 on Best Buy. And so these are typically, should be available. I haven't seen these gone out of sale or out of stock or anything like that. So What you want is you can have a two different patterns here for pickup. You can have a one person in front of you pattern where it just picks up, you know, a cardioid kind of pattern where it just picks up you in front of it on this gray side. And then you can flip the switch to the other end and it can pick up actually two people. So it can pick up sound from the front and the back of the microphone, right? That's if you have like some type of interview style. But I would obviously probably keep it on just one side where it just picks up the microphone in front of you, right? And so you can, again, you can place this down anywhere on the table, or you can place this on the laptop itself. It comes with a little clamp. It does clamp itself. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. And then I'll go ahead and plug this in. I'm gonna unplug the USB microphone because I'm not going to, or the USB sound card because I don't need that. And then I'll go ahead and plug this Samson microphone in. And again, just like how we did with the lavalier, you're going to go to your audio settings. And it actually already switched it over to the Samson Go mic. All right, so here is the Samson microphone and it's clamped to the top of the laptop here. There's a couple of different configurations that you could use, and this first one is on the top of the laptop. And so this is what it sounds like and looks like with the Samson Go microphone plugged into USB and yeah, on top of the laptop. Now you could also just take this microphone and set this down closer to you in front of you, and this is only about like maybe 6 to 8 inches from my mouth right here. And so this is what the Samson microphone, Go microphone, sounds like on the laptop here and with the Logitech webcam. So yeah, it should sound a lot better, and that's pretty much it for the microphones. All right, so one last tip, again, as I mentioned earlier before, was getting a lamp. Just as simple as this. This is from IKEA. I believe it was less than $15 for this lamp here. You can get the floor standing lamps if this isn't available or if it just costs too much. Those are definitely around $20. I think at Target they have them for about $20, and at IKEA there's a sale for a floor standing lamp with the paper on the outside to diffuse the light. Those are about $13 going on right now. So definitely check that out. If one isn't enough, then get two of them and put one on each side of you, right? Obviously behind the camera. It doesn't need to be in the view just like it is right here, but you can put one on the sides of wherever you're at. And at the end of it all, when this whole thing is over and you don't really need it anymore, you've got a couple of nice looking lamps for you to use. All right, now that's pretty much it for this particular video. I am going to be making an advanced video, and before I get to close out this video, I'm gonna have one more kind of an advanced technique which requires an expensive piece of equipment, but it's just kind of a precursor to what to expect in the advanced video that I'll be making. And that involves utilizing a DSLR or a digital camera, just as like this one here, as a webcam. And this is some pretty advanced stuff. Again, you kind of already have to know how to use a DSLR like this, but Canon just recently released a piece of software that you can install on your laptop that will utilize a Canon DSLR. It only works with Canon, and it's available for Mac and PC, to use it as a webcam, right? As a USB webcam. So let me plug this in and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I have the DSLR plugged in here through USB into the laptop, and I'm on the Canon website here, and I've downloaded the software. Now, your camera may not be on this list, but you're gonna find a camera that's close to what you have. So it could be something like a T6 or T7, whichever it is, or the 5D, 6D, whatever it is. Just find one that's close to what you have, download the software, install it, and once you install it, it will actually show up in Zoom as a camera. So if you go to your Zoom settings here, go to video, and here it is, EOS Webcam Utility Beta. And it's already selected for me, so let's go back into the Zoom call. And so here's what the camera looks like, the DSLR. As you can see, it's pretty nice. The recording though, as I'm outputting this to another laptop to record the screen, the color might be way too warm or orange, but believe me, it's a lot better because you see this blurry kind of a background here that adds some bokeh. That's because of the lens and the camera. And so that is pretty much an advanced kind of mode or setting there or equipment that you could utilize for a Zoom call. And again, this is just, that part is just a precursor to an advanced video that'll be coming out shortly. So stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.